Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Sunday, August 24th. Happy Sunday. Happy Kobe Day, everybody. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to have 13. That's right, 13 players on Dong Watch for today. It's the heaviest I've played a home run day in terms of total number of players on Dong Watch. I really like the slate, and I don't want to try and be picky and choosy over guys that I like. So I just went with all 13. Of course, going to have 4 favorites for you as well if you just want to play the favorites. We played yesterday pretty heavily as well, and I'm not going to say it ended up working out in our favor, but we didn't totally lose our ass. We ended up getting Riley Adams refunded as he did not play, and then of the remaining 11 players, we got 2 of them to hit home runs. Thank you to Mark Vientos. Thank you to Randy Arozarena. Gave us a very, very, very slight profit of 0.08 units. The Mariners guys, Julio hit a bunch of nukes, couldn't get one to clear a fence. Roman Anthony hit 2 nukes that I don't know how that neither of those cleared a fence. Same thing with Pasquatch. And then the Mets guys, we were able to get Vientos, so that wasn't bad. The Mets hit a bunch of home runs. I was hoping to just get more than Vientos. He actually hit 2. Another guy on the Mets hit 2, and then they had a couple other players hit home runs that I wasn't on. But all in all, I'll take not completely losing my ass. It felt gross basically the entire day until 2 late night home runs. On the entire year, brings our profit to basically 5.5 units of profit on the year, up just under 4% ROI on the year. None of that stuff is amazing, but we will take it. And I will say we've been profitable 6 out of the last 7 days. We had one day in which we were in the red, and that day we were down 0.05 units. Other than that, it's been a really good run over the last 7 days. So I know Sundays can be a little bit wonky. We've been profitable the last 2 Sundays. Hopefully that continues today, and we can get into it. So ton of home run, ton of juicy plays today, ton of really good weather situations. Like I'm going to have a play in these 2 games. Nothing here. I have a play in this game. I have a play in this game. This one. I have a couple plays here. And yeah, so we can get into it because I know I have a ton today. We're going to start with actually one of the games that's not in the red or not in the green for home runs, but I'm okay with it. And I'm going to take Kerry Carpenter to hit a home run. He is one of my 4 favorites. I'm also going to go with Vinny Pasquantino as my second of the 4 favorites. And I'm going to take Riley Green in this game as well. So 3 total players in this game today. You look at what these players did yesterday. So I was on Pasquatch yesterday. He did not hit a home run. Look at these EV logs. 112, 111, 106.9. That is a very, very, very impressive day at the plate for Vinny Pasquantino. And then look at Kerry Carpenter. 402 feet. He hit a baseball, just didn't clear a fence. And then Riley Green, 102.1 miles per hour. So all 3 of these guys, to different degrees, had good days at the plate yesterday, especially Pasquatch. I mean, he really is crushing the baseball. And then you look at the pitching matchup. On the Royals side, the starting pitcher is Seth Lugo. Look at his numbers against left-handed hitters over the last 6 weeks. Home run basically every 11.5 at-bats, which is disgusting. Every single one of these numbers is bad, except for his fly ball rate, but he's got a bad line drive rate. Every single one of these numbers is a bad number. So you want to target lefties against Seth Lugo. That's exactly what we're doing with Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter. Green has been okay recently. 2 home runs, 2 barrels, 7 hard hits. That's not amazing. In the last 2 weeks, he's been better. As you can see, he was barreling the ball up at a really good rate. The latter half of the last 2 weeks, not so much this week, but he had a good day yesterday. And then Kerry, not nearly as hot at the plate, only 1 barrel and 6 hard hits, but he doesn't hit the ball, or he doesn't play every day in the lineup because he doesn't play against lefties. And he just hit the baseball 400 feet yesterday. And Kerry's much better at home. It's a good home stadium for him. So I like all 3 of these guys. And then on the other side, the pitcher that Pasquatch is going to be facing is Flaherty, Jack Flaherty, who has been good against lefties recently. I'll give him that. He's been much better against lefties recently. You look at him on the year, and he was a pitcher that you wanted to target left-handed hitters against. So I'm not necessarily ready to avoid him against a lefty. And again, with the way that Pasquatch has been hitting, it's just been phenomenal. And I just wanted to keep taking him. The price on them, $375 for Carey, 450 for Riley Green, 450 for Pasquale. Really good prices on those three as well. Next up, I'm going to have 3 plays in the Mariners versus Athletics game. Julio Rodriguez, who is the third of my 4 favorites. I'm also going Randy once again, and I'm also taking Shea Bangalier. So those are my 3 players in this game. The odds on them, Ballpark Pal doesn't like it as much, but Julio is 350 at FanDuel. Randy is actually 350 also at Bet365. And then Bangalier's was 425 at Bet365. So not as good of prices on them. But the logic with taking the 2 players on the Mariners is the same as it was yesterday. I took both of them yesterday. I'm not taking Suarez because his odds were a little bit too low for my liking, and he didn't really have a good day at the plate. But the two hardest hits of the game, both players were taken, Julio and Randy. Julio also had another 102 miles an hour off the bat, and Randy had 101.7. And then Bangalier's 103.5 and 100.4 flyout. But all 3 of these guys have been hitting fantastic. The 2 guys on the Mariners hit lefties really hard, which is what they are facing. Especially Julio has really, really good numbers against lefties. Not as good for Randy, but if you look at the entire year, Randy has pretty decent numbers against lefties. Jacob Lopez, the pitcher for the Athletics, who the 2 Mariners guys going to be facing, is a good pitcher. He can get hit up by righties. He's not like Seth Lugo against lefties, of course, but home run every 22 at-bats against righties on the year. The last 6 weeks, he's been better, but not really against righties. Home run every 21.5 at-bats. His numbers aren't terrible. The real issue is his fly ball rate. He allows batters to put the ball in the air. And both of these guys, Julio and Randy, hit lefties really well. And then you look at Shea, when he was really hot, like after the last 14 days, but 6 barrels over the last 2 weeks, 17 hard hits is respectable. And then over the last week, 4 barrels, 10 hard hits is also, it's Butler. 3 barrels, 9 hard hits is also a respectable number. It's going up against Logan Gilbert, who is a good pitcher who does pitch better at home. So that is a negative for Shea Bangalier's, but Logan Gilbert is just the split version of it, has been much worse against righties. Home run every 13.5 at-bats allowed against right-handed hitters over the last 6 weeks. And you look at these numbers. I mean, the K rate is good, the barrel rate is low, but the fly ball and line drive rate is high, and the hard hit rate is high. So you understand why he's been giving up so many home runs is because of those 2 things. So even though Langalier's, I'm not going to say he's not as high because he's still been hitting really well. And then the 2 Mariners guys in this one, so that's 3 of my 4 favorites. And then the 4th one of my favorites was Lars Nootbaar. And then I'm also taking 2 other players on the Cardinals, as you can tell. So 3 players in this game is Nootbaar, who's the 4th of my 3 favorites, Alec Burleson, and Wilson Contreras. Ballpark Pal really likes this game. 400 is the best offered price for Wilson Contreras. And then it's 475 at both Bet365 for both Burleson and Nootbaar. This is the best weather game of the day by far. 40% home run index. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Double-digit winds blowing out. As long as this game is able to stay dry, it's going to be the best weather game of the day. I've gotten burned a little bit playing this series as heavily as I had. They didn't play yesterday, but I went heavy on it Thursday and Friday. Not to a ton of success, but that's not going to scare me off. All of these hitters on the Cardinals are hitting pretty well. You look at total barrels, 3 for both Contreras and Nootbaar with 11 hard hits is very good. And then Alec Burleson, he only has the 1 barrel, but he's got 12 hard hits, and he's still putting the ball in the air at a decent rate. Burleson also didn't play on Friday's game. He's expected to play today. If he doesn't, we just get him refunded. But you look at his last couple games. I mean, hard hits 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So he's been hitting really well. Just hasn't quite been able to clear a fence. Granted, when you play at the Miami Marlins Stadium, you can kind of forgive him for that. Another reason why I really like batters on the Cardinals is because of the pitching matchup against Ryan Pepio, a.k.a. Pepe Le Pew, who's a home run machine. Home run allowed every basically 16.5, 17 at-bats over the last 6 weeks. He's not as bad on the year. You look at him on the entire year. Home run every 20 at-bats, every 18 to righties, every 24 to lefties. But recently, he's really struggled. The home stadium for the Cardinals is terrible. And again, these guys had the day off yesterday, but they both hit well. Both Contreras and Nootbaar hit well on Friday, and then Burleson had the day off. So feeling really good about these 3 players on the Cardinals. with, again, Newt Bar as the fourth of my four favorites. Now I have a couple one-offs, starting with Alec Bohm. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 600 at Bet365. Ballpark Pal really likes this game. This is another really good weather one. It's the second best weather game of the day, plus 34% home run index. Now, I will admit, the pitcher that the Phillies are facing, Jake Irvin, he is much worse against lefties. But you look at these odds, I'm not playing 220 for Bryce. I'm certainly not playing 135 for Kyle Schwarber. And 460 for Brandon Marsh, he's normally like plus 800. So the books are obviously taking into account that it's incredibly juicy weather and an incredibly juicy pitching matchup, but not really for Bohm. We're still getting him at 600, where all the other players are having their odds nerfed. And he's 480 at FanDuel, so I wouldn't play him at 480, but 600, he is a value. The thing with Bohm is he just came back from injury not that long ago, and he's been hitting pretty well since he came back. 7 hard hits, 2 barrels since he's come back, and that hasn't been every day for the last week. If you look at him, he actually returned on the 17th, so actually it has been exactly a week. He had 2 hard hits and a barrel yesterday. That's another reason why I like for him, because you look at what he did yesterday. He had the 2 hard hits, and then one of them he hit, traveled 403 feet, home run in 6 out of 30 stadiums. Just got to pull that ball a little bit more. But he's been hitting really well since he has come back. As you can see, the fly ball rate and the pull rate are both above 40%, which I like. And 2 barrels and 7 hard hits is respectable. I mean, you see Schwarber and Bryce are on fire, but I just can't get down with them at their prices. You want to put them in a parlay, that's totally fine. The pitcher they're going up against, as I mentioned, Jake Irvin. He is definitely a dong ball pitcher, and he's definitely worse against lefties. Home run every 19 at-bats on the year. Every 23 to righties is still not terrible. Every 18 to lefties, and you see the numbers are a lot worse. So like I said, he's definitely a pitcher you want to target lefties against more, but he still can get hit up by righties. Boom. Been hitting well since he's come back in the lineup. He got the 2 hard hits in the barrel yesterday, and he's plus 600. He's the highest odds of anybody that I'm playing today, and I just think that's mispriced. I think he should be closer to what you're seeing, maybe like closer to JT at what you're getting at like 450 there. So I like Bohm a lot. Next up, Ben Rice. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 410 at Fanatics. That's what I was able to get him at. If that is no longer available, I would still take the 390 number, which you can get at a bunch of different places. Ben Rice is another player that's been hitting well. You look at him, 5 barrels, or I guess it went down a little bit. 2 barrels, 6 hard hits. So he did go down a little bit, but you look at the last 2 weeks, and you see 7 barrels, 19 hard hits. So looking much better over the last 2 weeks. He played against a lefty yesterday, so no stats really of note there. But he's going up against Dustin May, who's not a good pitcher by any means. I will admit May is a little worse against... he's like a righty who's worse, or maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, okay, so I'm misremembering. He's worse against lefties. Home run every 24 or so at bats against lefties on the year. You look at him over the last 6 weeks, and you see home run. He's been better against lefties. He's been better in general since he's been on the Red Sox. I'll give him that. But his numbers aren't like that amazing. I mean, sure, the barrel rate is low, but the hard hit rate's high, the line drive rate's high, the fly ball rate's high, and he is striking out batters, doing a good job of that. But really good game at Yankee Stadium. Granted, the wind's blowing to left field, which is going to help a righty, but the wind at Yankee Stadium has that short right field porch, which is going to help a lefty like Ben Rice. Pretty strong advantage, as you can see, +8 for Ben Rice. It is positive EV, especially the 410 number, if you can still get that at Fanatics. Next up, Corey Seager to hit a home run. He is best offered at 375 odds at Bet365. He's been really, really unlucky and also fantastic hitting the baseball over the last week. You look at him, 5 barrels, 14 hard hits. Those are really healthy numbers. You compare that league-wide. He's one of 7 batters with 5 or more barrels. I mean, Pasquatch is just an absolute animal. And then he's one of 7 batters with 14 or more hard hits. Like there are only 2 guys in this category in terms of batters, or in terms of barrels and hard hits. It's him and it's Vientos. So he's been hitting well. I will admit the pitcher's good. Gavin Williams is a good pitcher, 100%. He almost took that no-no against the Mets, but he can get hit up by lefties. Home run every basically 22 and a half, 23 at-bats on the year. Or sorry, that's on the last 6 weeks. You look at him on the year, home run every 26 at-bats. So he's not horrific by any means. He's also not completely anybody to be scared of. And really, in this case, we're backing a hot batter as opposed to fading a bad pitcher, which is why we're just taking Seager on the Rangers. And then our last play, our 13th dong of the day, Colton Cowser to hit a home run. Good price on him. Ballpark Pal really likes it. Plus 450 odds at Bet365. This is a good weather game. As you can see, plus 11% home run index. It's going to be hot. Slight winds blowing out to left field, but still a good situation for lefties because Camden Yards also has a shorter right field than they do left field. So you generally, righties can still go, but you generally like to target lefties. And Eric Getty's only made a couple starts back from injury. Has not been good, especially against lefties. You look at him on the year, home run every 25 at-bats against lefties sounds good. None of these numbers are good, especially that hard hit rate. Almost 60% is terrible. Fly ball and line drive rate is high. The barrel rate is average, and the K rate is relatively low. But you look at his last 6 weeks, which has granted only been a couple starts, but still, home run every 17 at-bats allowed over the last 6 weeks with really, really, really bad numbers across the board. The fly ball rate's lower, line drive rate's higher, hard hit rate's higher, barrel rate is higher. K rate is 2 percentage points higher. So Colton Cowser, I know he's been hot recently, which a lot of people aren't going to like, but 450 odds in a good pitching matchup for a hot batter. He did hit a home run yesterday, but it wasn't just the home run that he hit. He also had 2 total hard hits, and you look into those. He had 106 miles an hour off the bat, basically 400 feet. That's awesome. Then another 102.4 that traveled 300 feet. So still a good day at the plate for Colton Cowser. So I like for him to hit a home run. That's all we got. Tons of players on Dong Watch today. Hopefully we can have another day in the green. Alec Boehm in the Phillies game. Then in the Royals Tigers, it's Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, and Vinny Pasquantino, with Pasquatch and Carpenter as 2 of my 4 favorites. Then 2 one-offs in Ben Rice and Colton Cowser. Then 3 plays in the A's Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, and Shea Bangaliers, with Julio Rodriguez as one of my 4 favorites. And then rounding out 3 players in the Cardinals game, Alec Burleson, Lars Nootbaar, and Contreras, with Nootbaar being one of my 4 favorites. And then rounding things out, my final play of the day is Corey Seager. That's all we got. Ton of dongs. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good one.